Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at the game room here. It's more of a closet, really, but it's a big-ass walk-in closet that as soon as we moved in the house, I knew it was going to be mine for my games. But start off with some of the weird peripherals I got. This thing, my parents picked up at a yard sale years ago. It's a vest that you wear with either the N64, the Genesis, PlayStation, or Super Nintendo. And according to the base of any sort of huge bass hits, it vibrates and goes along with it. It's like precursor to the DualShock, I guess, but for your whole body. I got gray zapper, a couple PS2 gun cons, orange zapper. That is a, let's get some more light. That's a Sega phaser, and I got another one in there. That's my Box Master System. I got my spare consoles here. There's my 3DS box. Spare Saturn I picked up at a thrift store for $10. No cords or anything, but I figured spare Saturn for $10, why not? This is my uncle's old Super Nintendo. As you can see, it's like super crazy yellow. Like, there's my old one I had when I was a kid, and it's pretty yellow. But his is like orange almost, because he's heavy chain smoker. And yeah, it got a lot of use. There's a original model PSP in there. There's my Virtual Boy. I don't know how well you can see it. I don't have the foam goggles around it. And I got that when I was a kid for like $30, and I played the hell out of it, actually. I had a lot of fun with it. But my dad, we didn't have the AC adapter, so my dad like made a makeshift one and ended up frying out the place where you put the batteries in there now. So yeah, it doesn't work anymore. There's one of my Game Gears. There's another Game Gear. I got a Atari 2600 in there. I got another 2600 sitting there with a PS1 and a GameCube on top of it. And see if I can get some more light in here. I got a Genesis Model 1 there with Model 2 underneath it. A Genesis with a Sega CD and another Model 2 there. And then N64. And all these systems here, these are my spares. My actual ones are hooked up in another area of the house, but it's a mess because we're renovating right now. Up there we got my Game Boy Color games and my Game Boy Advance games, my boxed ones at least. Got Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 box there. That's every bit as good as the Happy Nerd says it is. It's kind of weird every time. Almost more than half the games he's talked about are games that before he brings out the review, I'm like, man, someone needs to talk about this game, and then he brings out a review, so it's just awesome. There's my DS games. These are boxed in 64s. That's Diddy Kong Racing there. GoldenEye, Castlevania, both Castlevanias for 64. Games that get a horrible reputation and are completely undeserved. Some of my favorite N64 games. The original Castlevania, I can see why it has some problems. There's some control issues and some camera issues there. But Legacy of Darkness fixed all those problems, made a really solid, polished game. With it includes the playable characters of the first two games, so it's pretty much like it includes the first game, and then you get two new characters too. So it's just an all-around awesome experience. One of my favorite Castlevania games, and a game that is totally undeserving of the bad reputation it gets. Any problems it has are problems that are common among all 5th Gen 64 PS1 games. Like, it's just every game had bad camera and horrible polygon graphics at that point. Some boxed NES games, Ninja Gaiden, Legacy of the Wizard. This is the first game my family ever bought. Besides, I think my parents had some Atari 2600 games. Like, I grew up in a heavy gamer family, but this is the reason my dad bought an NES, was because we rented one and it came with Zelda, and he was hooked after that point. He came home with an NES not long after that, and so this is in horrid shape because I've had it since I was 3 years old. But yeah, it's a cool nostalgia trip for me to have that box still. Really, the thing that got me into video games was that Ninja Turtles Dracula's Curse there by Willie. Eternal Champion CD a much better version of an already awesome tournament fighter for the Genesis. One of my favorite tournament fighters ever, Eternal Champion CD. It's got some really, really solid like fatalities and combos and characters and moves and everything. Just awesome backstory, everything about it. I love that game. Double Switch, one of my favorite FMV games. I have kind of a soft spot for FMV games. It's basically Night Trap, but in a hotel, and I don't know, I get a kick out of it. I have a lot of fun with it. There's all my boxed Master System games. 3 Double Dragons in there, because you trip over those things, but all of these, almost all of them, well, 3 days after I ordered my Master System online, I went to the pawn shop down my street, and he'd just gotten in 12 Master System games, 12 or 15, and he said, you know, $10 for the whole bunch of them. And I was, yeah, why not? There's my Genesis games. Got quite a few of them. I got a box Shining Force up there. It's in rough shape though. Splatterhouse 2. I got Shining Force 1, but I don't have the box for it. Phantasy Star 4 in there in terrible shape though. Almost no label left on it. It's a great game. I just wish I had it in better condition. There's some more Master System games there hiding. Just like Altered Beast, California games, that kind of thing. Game Genie and some cleaning kits and stuff. Some of the stuff's just piled up because I really have nowhere to put it. Like down there I've got a pile of Game Gear games and memory cards and Game Boy games. This is a cool little bootleg. It's got a whole bunch of NES games and Mario 3, the Game Boy Advance version, all in one cart. My buddy just had that. I don't know where he even got it, but he doesn't even know where he got it because he's probably drunk or something, I don't know. This is one of the cooler things I have, and I have no idea what it's even worth. My parents picked this up from Dominican because they never have any idea what to get me for souvenirs when they go to the Caribbean, and they got me this. Came home with it, and it's a Korean version of Snow Brothers. I haven't even been able to find a picture of this anywhere online. And I know Snow Brothers is really rare on both the NES and the GameCube, but I have no idea if this is rare or if it's worth anything or what, but I just think it's pretty cool that, you know, I got it in the box and everything. So those are my NES games. As much as the NES got me into collecting and is the reason I'm huge into video games, it's far from my favorite system. I like a lot of the games on it, but I think that basically every series, this is my opinion, this is something not a lot of people agree with, but I think basically every series that got it started on the NES was better on a later system, with the exception of Ninja Gaiden. But even Mega Man, I really don't care for Mega Man Classic at all. I only have Mega Man 3 in there, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Mega Man X is better in every way. So, controversial statement there, but don't really have anything too rare. I think the rarest thing I have on there is Bible Adventures there. But yeah, that's really the extent. I got a Princess Tomato, and I love that game. I have a lot of fun with that game. This is for me my favorite part of my collection is my Super Nintendo games. Got a lot of awesome games in there. I got an Earthbound. The best part about my collection is my Super Nintendo collection is that the best games I have for it are all boxed. Oh, and I am running out of time, so I'll come back with a second one.